Ashley, let's go to the hotline, and let's bring in the head coach of the 5-1 Wichita Falls City View Mustangs. We are joined by Coach Rudy Hawkins. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
How are things in beautiful Wichita Falls, Texas?
Man, it's actually pretty nice right now. We got a cold front fixing to come through, so the heat's kind of went away a little bit.
First and foremost, I think that it's, I hate to start it off this way, but I think we've got to make sure you're doing okay. I know you had a health scare a couple of weeks ago. You returned to the sideline last week against Holiday, so obviously well enough to get back on the sideline. I know coaches are hard men to keep down, but I guess how are you feeling? How are you doing these days?
I'm doing good. Had some really high blood pressure. I kind of had a little mini stroke there, but everything's good on medications. Everything's good to go. It was great to be on the sideline again Friday night. I tell you what, it was probably a bad game to come back with high blood pressure type deal. It was an exciting game.
You took the words right out of my mouth. It's like you would have preferred a 59-0 romp over some nobody team, but instead you guys go out there and you play Holiday, and you earn what the Times Record News out there in Wichita Falls is calling the biggest win in program history, 20-14 over Holiday. I guess how did you do it? I mean, that's a remarkable win. How are you guys able to pull off the big win?
Well, the kids just played really hard, and they prepared really well for that week. We had some confidence going into that game. We played pretty good football most of the year, so the kids were excited to have the opportunity to play Holiday with them being a ranked team and them coming to our place. We've had 4 road games, so it was only our second home game, so the kids are fired up to get to play at home and just executed and played really well all night long.
The lead on that, I would say, and it's been a bit of an up and down year sometimes for your defense, but boy, it seemed like your defense played a whale of a game in your win over Holiday. What is it about your defense that you've seen so far this year that has you excited?
Well, we're just bigger up front on both sides of the ball, which helps us on the defensive side as well. We're just a little bit better against the run than we've been in the past. We got a sophomore linebacker that does a great job with us, Jordan Durham, who's started as a freshman last year at 133 tackles. So he kind of anchors that defense and does a great job. I got to tip my hat to my defense coordinator. Bobby Morris does a great job, and he had the kids prepared, ready to go.
We're talking with Rudy Hawkins, the head coach of the Wichita Falls City View Mustangs here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at #TFToday. Coach, I'm interested, up there in Wichita Falls, obviously, Ryder for a long time carried the banner for Wichita Falls. Old High has its history, a rich history itself. Hershey in the past couple of years has been fantastic. City View kind of bobbing along, and a program that I think people, when they think of Wichita Falls high school football, that's not exactly the first program that springs to mind. Do you get the feeling that your kids, this is something that your kids take personally, that your kids want to go out there and change, they want to put City View on the map?
Oh, sure. They want to put City View on the map for the community here. We started with just a freshman class in 1999, so the program hasn't been here very long. We have 3 playoff appearances, and but we're looking to try to really make a run this year. The kids played well. We had a great 7-on-7 summer this year, going to the state tournament and getting some recognition out there by you guys, and it's really led to this season starting off with a hot start.
I want to ask you a little bit about your offense. This is an offense that you guys use a lot of different types of weapons, but it seems like the guy who's the straw that stirs the drink is Isaiah Marks. This is a guy who I know is a 2-time first-team All-District quarterback. Started as a freshman. A guy who has really answered the bell for everything that you have thrown at him. You're the guy who gets to see Isaiah Marks every day in practice. What is it about him that makes him special?
He's just the leader. He's the leader of the team. He's definitely the quarterback. But he just works extremely hard. He puts a lot of time in on film, and he's always prepared. This is a year that we've really opened up the playbook to him. It's 100% open to him now. He makes checks at the line. He's also making the line calls for the offensive linemen, so now he's more aware of how everything's being blocked. He just sees the whole picture, and he does a great job of getting us out of bad plays and putting ourselves in good position to win football games.
I would be remiss, and I'd probably get in trouble in the Marks family if I didn't bring up the other one. Hard to call Jalen Marks the other one, too, because he has been so sensational for you guys. Last year, I know he was a guy who was an all-state kid back in 2017. Was really sensational. Suffered an injury last year. The older brother of Isaiah, I'm interested. How have you seen him grow? I think sometimes, especially when you've got a player of that caliber, when they suffer an injury like that costs them basically an entire season, it can kind of go one of two ways. Obviously, it's gone in the right direction for Jalen Marks. What have you seen from him? How have you seen him grow?
Well, he's just matured. He's a year older. I think he don't take anything for granted anymore. Losing that season really kind of opened his eyes and let him know that, he's not Superman, even though on Friday nights he seems like it a lot of times. He's just worked extremely hard to get back where he wants to get to. He's trying to get to the next level and play somewhere. And he's had a fantastic season so far, and on both sides of the football. I think he has 16 touchdowns right now, 2 rushing and like 14 receiving, and also with a couple of 2-point conversions. But, defensively he does a great job for us at safety. I thought he was key running the alley for us against Holiday Friday night. He's also our punter. He dropped the punt down there inside the 1-yard line for their final drive. So he's just kind of a do-it-all type guy, and he's a hard worker. I'm glad he's on our team.
You guys are in your open week. Very careful not to call that a bye week, because I know that the no bye weeks whenever you're rolling and you're working hard. What is it? What would you say you guys are looking to accomplish this week when you got no game to play tomorrow night?
Yeah, we're just trying to get healthy. We're pretty dinged up after the Holiday game. We haven't had a running back. Javen hadn't been with us for the last couple of weeks with a high ankle sprain, so it's another week for him to try to get healthy. We lost 2 kids to some minor injuries there in the first half against Holiday. So we're trying to get healthy, try to get rested up for the rest of the play. For the district run that we have with 4 games remaining, and just sharpening up some of our route running and some of the things we're gonna have to do to beat the rest of these teams.
Well, one of those teams is the team you draw next, and boy, no rest for the weary. I don't know who made the schedule, but you should have a word with them. After your open date, all you gotta do is go on the road and play Gunner. Not going to ask you to give away your game plan against the Tigers, but when you take a look at the film, when you take a look at what you guys are going to be up against next week, what do you see?
A bear. Those guys are really, really good. That staff out there does a tremendous job with those guys. They're just so disciplined, sound football team. Offensively they just attack you and they get holes quick. So we're just going to have to go out there and play extremely hard and see what happens. We're a team that's going to go out there. We're going to have them make some mistakes for us. But it's just an honor to be able to play against teams like this. And hopefully we'll go out there, compete, and give them a game. Well,
and you mentioned teams like this. It seems like your whole district is full of them. The District 5-3A Division II is loaded. Obviously, sitting at 2-0 is pretty darn good. You got to feel great about where you're at right now. When you take a look at the entirety of District 5-3A Division II, from your perspective, how do you see that district?
Well, I think Gunner's definitely the top dog in it right now. Somebody has to knock them off. There's a big game tomorrow night. Gunner comes to Holiday, travels to Holiday, and so that'll be an interesting game for us to be able to go watch. So, but Henrietta's playing good football right now, and so we match up with them the week after. So we got a 3-game stretch here that we know is going to be tough coming in, and then we go to the road. We have to go to Callisburg, and we have Macomb at home. So. We're trying to take it one game at a time and try to take care of Gunner, but we know there's some more good teams coming up. So, and we also we preach to the kids this week as well. Is that the Holiday game's over. It was great. It was a great win, but that doesn't mean anything if we don't go take care of business the rest of the year.
It's Rudy Hawkins, the head coach at City View Mustangs, here joining us on Texas Football Today. Coach, one last question for you. You're in your 9th year there at City View. You've been around this program for a long time. How have you seen this program change, maybe from the time that you arrived to what you're seeing right now?
I came here. It's my 14th year overall. I was an assistant here for a couple of years, and we went through a really tough stretch where we were 1-29. So we were about as low as you could get. But one thing that this group has that a couple of the other playoff teams had that we've had since I've been here, but it's just confidence. The kids believe that they can go out and play with anybody on any given night, and I think that's the biggest point of what the change and the culture change that we have around here is that the kids really believe that they can play with anybody.
He is Rudy Hawkins. He's the head coach of the 5-1 City View Mustangs. Coach, really appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the big win on Friday night, and best of luck next week and down the road.
Thank you very much.
There he goes, Rudy Hawkins, the head coach, Wichita Falls City View. A terrific story there, and he mentioned it. This is a program that has seen the bottom. Like it has really struggled at times. But they're trending in the right direction in a tough district. And I mean, I mentioned that the headline in the Wichita Falls Times Record News was that win over Holiday was the biggest win in program history. And that's a quote from him, and he ain't lying. That's a huge win in district to go and win a game like that. Is very, very impressive, and I think it speaks to how much that program has grown and changed under Coach Hawkins' leadership. It's really fun to watch. And, of course, you got the Marks brothers. Things are going pretty well for you. It's a good place to start. They are rolling right now, and I'll tell you, look, he's right. After their open week this week, they go on the road to Gunner, and they're going to be underdogs. But you know what? They're underdogs against Holiday, too. So you never know.
Happened.
You never know. Can't predict ball, baby. So appreciate Rudy Hawkins jumping on with us.
You know what another big win was for today? You gave me the right number this time.
Copy pasted it.
Look at again, something went a little wrong last time.
Yeah.
Between the control C and the control V,
I would say
something
like producer error.